Sometimes we delve too deep, trying to shine the light of understanding upon things unknowable by a sane mind. The question is, once you know, do you reject it or embrace madness and delve deeper? So do you seek the truth of unknowable entities? Have you seen the violet side? Oh, it seems I still have the window up. Give me 1 second. There it goes. Wait a second. Is chat not working? It better be. I feel like I'm just going to go ahead and die. Hello. Everybody in chat, welcome. As you can see, I'm starting to lose my mind, even more so than normally. It looks like chat's taking a little bit to catch up. Let's see, who do we got in here so far? Gum, Kuma, Clipsy, Melt, Riser, Solar, Bjorn. A pleasure to see you as always. Wizzy, Fane. Thank you for the raid. I very much appreciate it. Unfortunately, I don't have my raid alerts set up yet because, well, I'm bad at planning, as it seems. Hold on a second, let me tinker with chat and see what's up with it. Let's see, is this? No. I believe it's this one. Of course. There's going to be scuff. Why is it only registering? I know what's going on. Of course it's me making dumb decisions. So I have to go in and I have to change it. There we go. Now it should start showing up. I think I might have to refresh the source. Is it going now? Or is it still going to be difficult? I don't think there's going to be too much of a bumpy night. Right now, we're just getting used to everything and getting to know everybody in chat a bit. There it goes. I just had to press a button. Whoa, you said that you need a break? T, you flatter me too much. And to Bison, it's good to see you. I see Kamui in the chat as well. Aaron, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you were able to catch me live for the first time. So, how's everybody's day going? As you can probably guess from the shaking in my voice, I'm scared stiff. I assure you, the channel was already broken before you got here, War. I'm trying to figure out why chat is suddenly disappearing. I should have everything set up so that it doesn't. Is the stream not going on YouTube? It looks like it's live. Huh. That's the difficulty of restreaming, trying to approach multiple platforms. Yes, Wizzy is right, it's up on both platforms. Now if I can just figure out why the chat isn't popping up. Hold on one second, I think I have an idea. Let's see if that works. Alright, it seems to be working now. The chat isn't just disappearing all the time. Of course, this is going to happen. I knew it would. In fact, I don't think I even have all of my alerts set up. Ah, Sai, hello, hello. Bjorn, do you mean you can't hear the music? Let me see. It seems that everything is registering. I knew I should have had a test stream before this, but... Ah. I believe there should have been background music. There should be. Ah. I know why. Let me see. Or at least there should have been. Can't hear music. The stream gods are meddling. They're fickle, fickle, fickle creatures. That doesn't seem to be it. Kaiba, you're not late at all. You flatter me, Space. Alright, well, I don't know why the background music isn't working. Everything says it's going. I could hear it in other... Wait. This? Well, I've got to be honest. I'm just kind of winging it at this point. I'm just happy people are showing up in there chatting. But, wait a second, what was that? No, that should be working. No, 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 I'm not worthy of worship. I'm but a humble cultist of the cloth. It is all of you who attend and spread the word of the gaming gods who are worthy of praise. All of you who have taken time out of your days to come here and see this spectacle. But let's go ahead and get right down to it, shall we? I'll go ahead and turn the music off so I can't hear it. Because apparently nobody else can. That's just how this is going to go, I suppose. Hold on, let me... Ah, there we go. All right, so let's get right into it. Diablo! Thank you very much. I'm glad that you enjoy my ghoulish tone. Indeed, let it begin. So who am I? Most of you are already familiar. I'm Cabal, not Cabhall, not... I don't know any other interpretations of the name, but everyone says Cabhall, and it really gets me going. So who am I? Well, I'm your favorite frightening caffeinated cultist and hooded horror host. My goal here on YouTube and Twitch is to spread the message of my eldritch masters, the gaming gods, creators of alternate realms of existence that we here on Earth view through the medium of video games. Have you ever wondered why they seem so entrancing, so alluring? Why they can almost seem like another world? Well, you're closer to truth than you might think. But regardless, I'm here to spread their message because it seems the other cults, such as Nintendo and Sony, have decided they wanted to make money instead and have forgotten the goals of our malevolent masters. I've not heard anybody pronounce it as Kabahal yet, but I'm sure. But indeed, that is my goal, and through the medium of live streaming and YouTube, I hope to bring more people into the fold so we can crack the realms, usher in an unending age of darkness, madness, and memes. You can call me whatever you want, truthfully. Cab haul, K-ball, cab driver, if Booster's in here. Kaiba, you've got the right of it. No, wait, Bjorn, stop. Bjorn, stop. All right. But what do I do on these platforms to pull in the unwitting masses? Well, for almost a year now, I've been chucking away on YouTube, trying to find what best way to lure in the people. At first, I started out with just call me anything. Not that, Bjorn. That's about right. I can't let you do anything unsupervised. You're like a giant toddler who's just waiting to get into something. I'm glad you enjoy the cackle clips. No, no OnlyFans. Not going to happen. Maybe only flatals. But we'll have to see about that. I'm not sure if the internet could handle my, eldritch. You are all having far, far too much fun with that. No, there won't be an OnlyFans. In fact, I can't even get the Patreon up and running yet. But I am working on it, as well as the Discord. You see, YouTube's wanting to be stubborn and not wanting to let me connect it, so members can have their Discord roles. I'm glad you enjoy it. The chat fills me with glee. Blonde, hello, welcome. Welcome to the stream. It's going all right, I have to say. Everybody seems to be having a good time. Restream seems to be working. So we're tapping into both platforms. Only flans. I think that's a type of pudding. I'm not much of a, confectionaire. Hello, Goo. How are you doing? Only bands? That's only for you, Bjorn. Special and reserve. Oh, it seems I stashed my coffee cup. There we go. I'm still getting used to the digital form. It's a bit different. Indeed, Marchin, the numbers do grow. Every day, more come to the call of the gaming gods. More fall to the sight of the mind-twisting violet sign. And for that I'm thankful. All of you have made this quite the experience. Ah, one thing. Let me see if I can do this. I'll put this here, and if you have any questions for me, you can go ahead and put them in that thread, and here in a little bit, we'll get around to answering them. But now that we know who I am, let's ask, what do I do? Well, I'm a YouTuber, and I suppose now a Twitch streamer. At first, I started making survival game videos. In time, I found that was fun, but ultimately not something I felt I could do in the long term to the quality that I wanted. Instead, I've decided to embrace my horror roots and start making spooky videos to terrify and thrill all of you. And it seems that's gone amazingly well. Not only that, but I have quite the passion for content. Excuse me. Bjorn is a masochist. He's a glutton for punishment. Whatever that means. I'm glad the gaming gods have improved your life, Sai. And I see numbers in there making a nuisance of yourself. You listen to them before bed? A brave soul. I have to say, I'm still getting used to this. I'm trying not to do any dead air. Only undead air. No talking about your hobbies in chat, Bjorn. Nobody wants to hear that. But yes, anyways, I started creating survival game series on YouTube. And as I looked for a way to interact with the audience that started to spring up, of which I'm extremely thankful to all of you for, I looked for a way that I could do so and not break any webcam. You see, trying to broadcast my eldritch image over the internet has proven a little difficult, to say the least. And Amazon isn't very good at delivering new webcams to caves, so I had to improvise. Go, Twitch doesn't like multi-streaming if you're an affiliate. I, however, am not an affiliate. I'm a YouTube partner and just some schmuck on Twitch. You see, you've got to find a way to play the system. One second, I need a little bit of water. Oh, I'm sorry, T. I know you wanted to, but I just can't stand the exclusivity of. I like my freedom to spread my message wherever it will. Oh, no, no, no. I'll be fine. My throat will be fine. I've had a good bit of practice. Yes, anybody who's signed a contract with Twitch is signed into an exclusivity clause, which means that you can't restream and things like that. However, since the Cult of the Violet Sign makes its home on YouTube, and YouTube has no such clause, I can do what I want. And Twitch can insert my pseudopod directly down their orifices. Bjorn, you made that sound a lot worse than it actually is. I guess that should have been expected. But anyways, yes, so I started making horror content. Shortly after finding out about creators such as Iron Mouse, Mimicamorph, and watching the debut of one BS Apricot, who really sent me down the rabbit hole. In fact, most of what you see here is modeled off her debut. No spreading seeds. I'm a cultist, not a gardener. Indeed, T. Fruit is a lovely individual, and I don't think I might have found my path as easily as I did without her unwitting guidance. Cap for V Shonen. I'm not quite sure if I'm the, type who would fit. Thank you, Wizzy. I'm glad. I think purple looks rather dashing on me as well. Ah. But anyways, yes, so I've started making horror content, and there's just so much more that I want to do. I know I said months ago that I wanted to make Dead by Daylight motion comics, and that's something I've been researching. In fact, I think I may be taking a break from pre recorded content here in a little bit, just so I can study up on how to make it, or make them. I'll still be streaming, hopefully about 3 times a week. And in that time, if I'm able to learn the craft, as I hope I am, we should be good to go and I can start that series. And also use those skills for other projects. You see, I'm quite the creative at heart. I'm not nearly as good as, say, fruit or even tea. Logan, next Friday night win? Well, hopefully this week I'll have one ready. A little piece on some risky ritual, if that terrifyingly tickles your fancy. Any favorite type of horror stories I enjoy? Well, let's see. I'm particularly a fan of local urban legend. You see, there's nothing quite to get the adrenaline going as something that may or might not be true and is right in your vicinity. In fact, there's some urban legends around where I make my dreadful domicile that I've gone out and explored myself in years gone by. Fortunately, or maybe fortunately, none of them turned out to have any real veracity to them. But if they had, I might not have made it this far. Am I ready to see fan art of myself? Well, if anybody wants to break their own mind, crafting some illustration of my figure of ill repute, I say go ahead, and I more than encourage it. And as for not safe for work ones, that's I figured you would go there. But anyways, I don't think the world is ready for not safe for work cabal either. Local legends do hit differently. It's just the fact that it's around where you are. Move up a little bit. It's around where you are. It's something that you could possibly go explore yourself. A legend out in Europe about a castle isn't going to hit as close to home as, let's say, an old abandoned factory that people died in a fire in. Now that's terrifying, but thrilling. Am I an SCP? Well, I'm not quite sure. The Foundation hasn't gotten hold of me yet. But pretty soon, I'll get a hold of them. You see, I've been binging SCP stories as of late, and I have to say, I love the different factions within the universe. And I kind of want to sit down and make videos about all of them. I've got. You know, you're not wrong, Ghoul. You're not wrong. Aw, Jusagi, if you were any sweeter, I'd have to go to a dentist. Imagine just a sketch of him wearing a purple bathrobe, and that will be considered as not safe for work. Who says I'm not wearing a bathrobe right now? In fact, this stream is brought to you today by our sponsor, Snuggie. I'm kidding, I'm not actually sponsored by Snuggies, but they do look extremely comfortable. Call me an Uber. I can't afford an ambulance. Oh, give me a second. I need some water after that. I don't know what it is about the Snuggie that set me off, but oh. Oh. Ah, that's a little bit better. Something to wet the eldritch whistle. I forgot I had a cup of coffee here. Of course I can't afford an ambulance. You know how expensive those wee-woo wagons are? Look, if I break both my legs, I'll drive myself to the hospital with my hand. Base corporate disguise is Snuggie confirmed. Hearing that laugh and these jokes make me feel like I'm Harley Quinn. Can we call you Mr. K? I was going to say you can call me whatever you want, but I realize that Bjorn is still in chat, so I can't say that yet. But if you want, of course. Bjorn, I have to be careful. You and your ilk, if you're in chat, are just like Cooksey for Zintreya. I can't do anything, or else it'll probably wind up on YouTube. I kind of like how Mr. K sounds, too. Maybe, in the future, I might get something a bit more formal. Creator Keon, hello, hello. Nothing much, just the very first live stream. I'm waiting for the Cabal clippers. And clip some random stuff off streams and make out of context. Oh, gods. Bjorn? Bjorn is already a gecko. Deep purple three-piece suit. Exactly. I was thinking something along that line. Maybe a rather stylish hat to keep my ghoulish guys shaded. But that's something I'll have to work toward. There's a lot of other things I want to do up until that point. One of the things I kind of already teased if you follow me on Twitter. Have you ever heard the song Toxic Love? Do I have any hair? That is a question that may or may not be answered in the future. Nobody gets to see what's under the hood. It's there for your safety. And, well, mine, because I'm about one shade away from a gym sock. I burn in fluorescent light. Ghoul if fruit did absolutely anything for me, I would be utterly ecstatic. Adam, don't even start with the ooh-woos. Oh, I just said it. There you go, T. There it is for you. I hope you enjoyed it. You know what? Chat is always enabled. I'd rather you be a raucous bunch of ne'er-do-wells than just silent and not having a good time. Because ultimately, that's what we're all here for, isn't it? Read some spooky stories, have a couple laughs, maybe learn a thing or two about some content. Maybe meme up some other VTubers. Indeed it is, Raza. That's part of the reason I look to restreaming, is because I know I have an audience on YouTube and a growing audience on Twitch. And I'm more than happy. You know, I've just realized at this point there's been absolutely no alerts. Let me check something. Huh. Interesting. I'm fairly certain there should be alerts going off. I don't have any of my other windows open, so I can't really see what's going on. Well, I do have windows open, but they're kind of all over the place if I have to be honest. My screen is so utterly cluttered. You'd think it was a writhing mass of tentacles itself. You say that you can't super chat. Really? That's interesting. I have to sneeze. Of course I was still muted. Of course. Of course I muted the sneeze. I don't want VTuber sneezers showing up and trying to indulge in their disgusting hobbies. I mean, to each their own, but really? VTuber sneezes. Ugh. No, there will be no sneeze compilation. Not going to happen. Of course, Wizzy, of course. That's for patrons only. Stuffed potatoed, hello. Welcome. I hope you have a good time. No, there's not going to be any sneezes. I won't allow it. Look at me. I don't even have a nose. Ooh, you're probably right. I am going to get caught eventually. But for now, I'm going to try my best not to. No nose gang indeed. Who needs a nose when you look this good? I'm not much of a walking shadow. I'm very much corporeal. There is some substance to my being. But as for just what that substance is, well, mystery's part of the fun, isn't it? uh, really, Bjorn? Really? Uh, that one hurts my soul. Anyways, I have a question for you, chat. Who wants to see the model in full? Oh, well, you've done a good job at getting the groans, and I'm sure you'll get plenty more as time goes on. Yeah, full model. Yeah, me please. Full Monty. All right. But only because it's you, chat. Only because I love you that much. And you've done such a good job at serving and spreading the message of the gaming gods. I suppose you can have this little reward. So, let's go ahead and get out here. As you can see, yes, I am full body. Always have been. And guess what? No feet. I thought of that, and I've done my best to not have that fall into that trope. I do simp for chat. Look, so many chat simp for their VTubers. But how many VTubers simp for their chat? You can work with tentacles too, huh? Nita! I see you've made it! Thank you, Omega Zero. I'm glad you enjoy my ghoulish garb. So, let's start from the default. Here we go. As you can see, I'm a little bit of a wiggly boy. Tim did a wonderful job on adding some physics to all of this. Even my stalls tend to blow in the breeze. And I have about 6 total expressions, I think. We've got the default one, as I like to say, my poker face. We've got this one, a bit happier. Something that I can wear when chat has me in a good mood. I've got my smug face, or when I'm having quite the blast. Indeed, I am a wriggly boy. Wait, you need tentacles for your sushi. No. No cultist tentacles in the sushi. That's just wrong. I've got my smug face. I've got my upset face when things get a bit too spooky, even for me. Then I've got this one. But when chat gets out of line, or just when I have to deal with Bjorn too much. This one's for you, Bjorn. This is how you make me feel on a daily basis, with your petrifying puns. Yes, when Bjorn gets out of line, which is always. And then, last but not least, I've also got this one, which is also a Bjorn face. What moisturizers do I use for my tentacles? I just use soap. That's how I keep my shiny gleam. Just take a shower every day. But expressions are not the end of things. You see, one of the things I love, especially as a horror enthusiast, is props. And I have more than a few built in. For example, we've got my lantern. So whenever we delve deep, Kabhaalytes, we always have a bit of a light to guide our path. Look, Nita, sometimes you've just got to stay a little bit fancy. As a cult leader, I have to hold myself to a high standard. I can't have the Kabhaalytes following somebody who looks like an eldritch hobo, can I? And next up, we have my microphone, so I can broadcast the message of the gaming gods all across the internet and the airwaves. We've also got the Nerdnomicon, the repository of all of my eldritch education and knowledge in one simple tome, and oftentimes a bit more trouble than it's worth. Moving on, we've also got this. Sometimes things get a little bit too spooky, and I tend to stress out a bit. There you go. There's your screenshot. Eldritch Cultist VTuber has heart attack on stream. Where did the mic come from? Well, you see, the mic is something. Oop. I gave you a little bit of a surprise there. I didn't mean to. Much like. Well, that's not good. Much like most of my equipment here, I've cobbled it together from Eldritch Technologies. Technologies I probably should have been using to build a portal for the other servants of the gaming gods. But you see, trying to buy parts for a PC, especially in this economy, are expensive. So I had to repurpose the parts for other things. It's kind of set my plans back a little bit. But I figure in time I can improvise. How do I manage to use more than 2 monitors? Well, you see, have you ever seen a chameleon look at something? It's kind of like that. Do I have an Amazon wish list? No, I don't. You see, living in the cave system that I do, it's rather hard to get Amazon to deliver out here. Unlike UPS, not a single one of their drivers has any splunking training. The amount of times I've had to go fetch an Amazon or a FedEx driver out of a random cave or a ditch is, well, frankly, more than I'd like to admit. They really should train their people better. Only real G's live in caves. Well, now I know that I'm a G. But getting back to the model, whenever I have to go and fetch one of those drivers out of the caves, or I have to hear another one of Bjorn's puns, I tend to get a little bit like this. Sometimes the burden of holding together your sanity and reality around you is just a bit more than you can handle. Or sometimes I get yeeted into a video game that is just a real pain in the rear to survive. Don't worry, even if I'm mad, I'm still a laugh. The only thing you're breaking with puns, Bjorn, is mine. And not in the good way. Ah. So anyways, what do you all think of my abominable appearance? I had to think on that one for a moment. I'm getting better at the on-the-spot alliteration. Is that the Andromeda Galaxy through the window? You know, I'm not really sure. It's the start of the portal. So far it only works as a window. But once I get it the rest of the way up and running, it should allow the other servants of the gaming gods to breach into this reality. The problem is I had to use most of the parts to build my streaming setup, as you can see. Look, don't at me. I did what I had to do to spread the message, all right? Should we be scared of the portal opening? Well, I don't know. Are you one of the faithful? Have you seen the violet sign? Because if you have, I don't think so. You'll be insane long before the portal opens. And at that point, will you really care? Indeed, 3 monitors. I like to, multitask. Or maybe I'm just incredibly ADD. Low light normally is bad for the eyes, if you have regular human eyes. There it is, that word I won't say in chat again. T already got her one. I'm not giving her another. I have to keep those stored away. Ah, speaking of which, one of the things I'm working on for the chat, since I'm not a Twitch affiliate and I'm based on YouTube instead, is a loyalty system. So that we'll be able to have redeems without having to be Twitch affiliates. It's going to take a bit of finagling and getting the streams to cross. I'm proud of that one. Don't at me. Don't you owe you me, Robin. You knew it was going to happen. But yes, I'm working on a chat loyalty system. Of course, Bjorn would. I'm working on a chat loyalty system so we can have redeems and everything across both YouTube and Twitch. Much how the chat functions. Welcome back, Kyber. Kaylee, you knew you were going to get dad jokes. You've seen my content before and my tweets. You know what you signed up for. Oh. I had to reposition something. I've got everything on boom arms. Everything, everywhere. It's like a mass of tentacles of electronic bits surrounding me. It's quite homey. Giggle! Welcome, welcome. Came here in search of dad jokes, and you're not disappointed. Oh, hi there, I came here in search of dad jokes. I'm Cabal. Ah. I have to say, now that I'm getting into the ring of things, some of the nerves seem to be slipping away. I know it was going to be rough not playing a game starting out, but I wanted everyone to kind of funnel in and get to know each other. It's not a debut by any means. I kind of take the debut culture and throw it to the wind. It's not my shtick, and really it doesn't fit my brand as a horror host. But speaking of things that do fit my brand, let's go ahead. 1 second, I have to read this. Ghoul, I hope you had a great time. I hope you have a great night. Don't forget to check the closets before you go to sleep. Nighty night. Am I a relative of Ina? Same joke, same tentacle. I'll have you know, we do not have the same tentacles. That is eldritch profiling. And I don't appreciate it. I'm kidding. Actually, no, Ina and I serve very, very different entities. You see, it seems that the elders of hers are much more mindlessly malevolent, whereas the gaming gods, well, they're only in it for entertainment. That's why they're the gaming gods. Everything's a game to them. Their realities, this reality. In fact, that's part of the reason I'm trying to break the veil and let them into this realm. Wouldn't you like for things to be a bit more fun? But why the dad jokes? I mean, who doesn't like a good dad joke? Am I feeling it now, Mr. Cabal? I get that reference. I didn't want it, but I get it. What was I going to say? I'm a bit scattered-brained. But I suppose that's what happens when your sanity is loosely scotch-taped together fragments of sanity. A-tier humor. I fully agree. A good dad joke is just something that you can't really get out of anything else. Could you ask the... Could you ask them to stop playing Pandemic? Oh. That was really good. I really enjoyed that one. But no, I can't. The gods do what they will. I'm but a humble cultist. Oh, ugh. Just write me off. I'm dead from that one. That was so bad, Bjorn. It was so bad. Bendu, hello. Welcome to the Scream. I hope you're having a good night. Or evening, or morning, or wherever you make your dreadful domicile at. Is anybody going to be sad if I ban Bjorn? Anybody? No? Can I go ahead and do this now? Let's see. No, maybe a little. Bjorn wants to be banned. Wizzy will be sad. Zam says, do it. Bjorn wants to be banned. Yes, and no. How does that work? You're going to have to elaborate on that one. I'm kidding. I wouldn't ban Bjorn. It's just... Oh, I thought my jokes were bad, but Bjorn, you're in a league of your own. Bjorn abstains from voting on whether or not he should be banned. Ah. Is the cult a legal organization? You know, I've tried to register it. Because, I mean, who doesn't want to not pay taxes? Why not sacrifice? Why not sacrifice instead? Koga, that's a wonderful idea. I never thought of that. Bjorn, after the stream, I'm going to send you a message. Let's meet up. What do you say, buddy? What do you say, pal? Come on. JC Hygo official, hello. Welcome to the Scream. Know of the one called D. Tax evasion, just don't pay the taxes. Look, I deal in horror and deities beyond the minds of mortal kin. But the IRS is fucking scary. So if I can't get tax exempt for running a religious organization, I suppose I can just go ahead and fork over Uncle Sam's share. Oh, I swear. The lot of you. Did I just say welcome to the stream or welcome to the scream? That is up for you. That's up for you to interpret. I might have said the latter. But the point is, you can't really tell, can you? I'll take a pandemic over the IRS any day. At least they're not going to repossess my cave. hold on. I need a little bit of water. We've been going for about, an hour now. Wow, really an hour? You've all been sticking around listening to me babble on for an hour. That's impressive. Welcome to my nightmare. I, Cabal, will be your host for the evening. That seems about accurate. Indeed, babbling is fun. I'm normally not much of a talker, but I've spent about this past year learning to be the starter for conversation and trying to build up the community so I have people to talk to, because really and truly, I do enjoy talking with all of you. No, Kamui, you're right. There is supposed to be music. For some reason, it's not working, and I have no idea why. So we're just winging it, and I'm trying to keep there from being any dead air. Hey, how's it going, 99? Hello, and welcome to the Scream. I hope your evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you make your home at, is going well. Indeed, Erin, you are all fun people, and I'm glad that you've seen the violet sign and decided to join me here on the stream. Look, Bjorn, alliteration is my shtick. Edging in on my territory, huh? I see how it's going to be. First it was the puns. Now you're stealing my speech patterns. Look, just because I look this good doesn't mean you can emulate me, all right? Go out and be your own person. I haven't been asked yet. What's on the mug? There's nothing particular on the mug. It's just a mug. A spooky mug to be sure, but just a mug. But watch closely. Adam, you've got to go. Well, I hope you have a wonderful whatever time it is where you're at. Hey, it looks like you figured it out. You're one of the few people that have registered as to just what it is. What do you mean it's cursed? Don't you want a coffee cup that never spills? I know people that would kill for such a thing. In fact, that makes me think. Would a coffee cup that never spills be an anomalous item? Is my coffee cup technically an SCP? That's something to get the old brain box going. You feel like you've heard of that SCP? I know there's the one that entrances an individual and forces them to drink the contents of it. I've heard of that one before. Now everybody's saying what their favorite SCP is. Actually, let's go ahead. What are your favorite SCPs? I'm curious. and I always want to look for something interesting to tell a story about. The coffee machine that could make anything. I remember that one. SCP-99? I'm going to have to look them all up. I don't know them by heart. SCP-999. The Tickle Monster. How precious. Special crispy pret. Bjorn. Bjorn. Really? Really? I swear to the gods, if you don't know what SCPs are, I'm going to lose it. Infinite IKEA. That sounds terrifying. Like, the legitimately terrifying. I don't want to be stuck in IKEA for all of eternity. No, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about that. Being stuck in an IKEA, and I'm just, why? Can I just have a couch fall on me instead? Is it all just a bad dream? Can I? Oh. Little bit too much water. Tasty food and a bed every night. But it's an SCP. There's going to be a catch. There isn't like... Wait, is there? Is there an SCP where it's just like, hey, here's your anomalous apartment. You have a fridge full of food and you get to live a nice life with an awesome internet connection. Oh, see? Numbers said it. There's monsters in the IKEA. Gee, hello. Welcome to the Scream. 005 is just a key that opens every... Of course you would like that one, Locke. Ah, why, hope you had not too hard of a day at work. And I'm glad you're joining us. They're 100% good SCPs. Where's my... I need an X button. That's what I'm going to do. After this stream, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to make an X button. Internet in IKEA is terrible. Phone too. You're back in the 90s. No, thank you. Narrator of children's horror show. Well, funny that you should say that. So, who wants to know what the plans are for the stream going forward? Breathe, Chi, breathe. I believe in you. You can do it. How do we know you're not just a fragment of SCP-079? How do you know if I am? All right. So moving forward, what are my plans for the stream? Well, as I said earlier, I'm your hooded horror host. So one of the things that I want to do, and it's probably going to either have to be Discord or Twitch exclusive, is having movie nights. Not just movie nights, but how many of you here in chat have ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000, or Tales from the Crypt, or even Elvira's Movie Macabre? I'm seeing a lot of T losing her mind. As a kid, Tales from the Crypt intro scared the crap out of me. Well, it's funny you should say that, hey. Because, I'm looking to get maybe a cameo from a certain John Cassier. Or, better known as, the voice of the Crypt Keeper. Or the introduction to what I'd like to call my Friday night theater. Indeed, I have seen Are You Afraid of the Dark? But Friday Night Theater and other streams won't just be for movie-related things. We're going to be delving into the depths of all sorts of horrific gaming experiences. Probably very soon. Wait a second. It seems to be thundering outside. I can hear it even down here in the cave system. What a dreadfully dreary day for a stream. Dramatic fanfiction readings. Dramatic fanfiction readings. Poppy! Welcome to the Scream. How are you doing? To be graced by the King of Liches himself. What an amazing experience. The Curse Majora's Mask thing. You mean been drowned? Well, funny you should say that. I was actually looking at that the other day. I'm glad, and I have to say, Poppy, that I've heard only the same, only good things about you. And I sat down and I watched some of your content the other day, and I have to say, it's a real rib tickler. I'm proud of that one. But yes, been drowned. That particular ARG and creepypasta. It's funny you should mention that because I have some of my own plans for spreading a bit of the lore behind what goes on here in the sanctum of the Kabhaalytes. But I'll keep that under my hood for now. It should be a pretty interesting experience. Now you want to hear me say Waluigi. Wah! How's that? Indeed, Nin. I'm particularly a fan of Restream. But that's because I'm a YouTube partner and not a Twitch affiliate, so I can tend to get away with it. Keon, what did you write? As he gently wrapped his slimy tentacles around my legs, my heart started beating faster and faster. A flush of red filled up my face, my eyes hungry for the entity in front of me. I wonder if you could read the creepiest and then the cheesiest creepypastas. You know, that's an idea. That's a really good idea. I knew it would get clipped, and you know what? I'm not sorry. Ah. But let's go ahead and get back to what I was saying about plans for the stream. Yes, I plan to have movie nights and also creepy story nights where we can sit around and we can banter about the more darker side of media. Now, when am I looking to do this? I'm thinking maybe once a month, as it'll be something that needs to be set up, and I really want it to be good, because I want all of you to have a wonderful hosted horror experience. As for the creepy stories, that's something I can do a bit more often. And then a skeleton popped out. Yeah. Terrifying! Utterly terrifying! I have to agree with you, Cam. I'm not going to knock on anybody who enjoys affiliate, but it's just not my shtick. I like to be able to move around as I please. And YouTube was fortunate enough to give me the ability to do that. Jeff the Killer dramatic reading. Oh my god. I regret nothing. I bet you don't. Ah, it's Sleepy. If any of you don't know, Sleepy Ghost is the one who made these wonderful overlays. Their art is utterly amazing, just wonderful. So please, please, if you could go on Twitter and you could follow Sleepy, or follow them here on Twitch, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it, because without them, today would not be possible. And then Cthulhu and Cabal fell in love. Wrong pantheon! Wrong pantheon! Maybe you could ask for short, creepy stories from fans and send them through Marshmallow. That's actually one of my plans that I was going to get to, is I would like to do fan story nights, where people submit their own spooky literation. Wherever one... It seems I've forgotten how to work my mouth. Give me a second to compose my thoughts. All right, ready to go. That is something that I want to do. I want to have members of the community submit creepy stories, and then we could read them out, rate them, banter them, see which ways we could improve them. I think that would be a fun experience. They are incredibly inconvenient like that, yes. Unfortunately, I'm still tied to this flesh suit. For now, at least. We'll see how things go. Anthony Green, hello! Welcome to the Scream. I'm glad you could make it. I hope you enjoy your time here, and it's dreadfully delightful. But as I was saying, setting up the movie nights for Friday Night Theater, having some spooky story reading. I'm even looking at some horror games down the road. I know a lot of you know about Resident Evil 8, and the fact that it's A game where you can spend most of your time in the castle or village as you will it is something that's got me particularly excited. Not only that, but I'll be running a special event while I'm streaming that game. You see, I've managed to get my ghoulish grabbers on a PlayStation 5 Collector's Edition. Not for myself, but for one of you. You see, as I play through, and I edit the clips, and I edit the VODs down into YouTube videos, I'm going to be hiding Nerdnomian runes in the videos. And it'll be up to you to find those clues, put them together, and when the time comes, I'll need you to email me that message. You don't need to interpret it, but if you send it to me and you're the first one to get it, that collector's edition you can't get anymore will be yours. I'll be pushing that particular event out more as it grows nearer. But I figured I'd give everyone here the heads up. Actually, I don't have a PlayStation 5. I don't do consoles. Those are for the particular cults. I am a cultist of all of the gaming gods. I don't adhere to any one particular dogma. Indeed, Bjorn, I managed to snag one of the last collector's editions for PlayStation 5. And I'll be more than happy to hand it over to one lucky community member. Resident Evil 8. Of course, that causes you to pop up Kamui. Indeed, I do most things on PC, as you can see behind me. I have quite the decent Eldritch setup. It took a bit for me to build out of, elder technology, but it works, I suppose. Sometimes it randomly inserts a subliminal message or two, but, that never hurt anybody. Much. But anyways, let's see, what did I cover? I covered the Friday Night Theater. Trying to get our favorite voice of the Crypt Keeper, John Cassier, to do a cameo for that. I talked about doing spooky stories. This would be a lot easier if I'd made slides, but I decided to just kind of go with it. I'm a big fan of improv, I guess you could say. An I-core processor. I love it. Who thinks Cabal got thickness under the robes? You're doing amazing, Cabal. I'm enthralled. I see what you did there. T. Not you two. Not you two, T. Why? Why must you join hands with Bjorn in torturing me? Is the uncaring attentions of the gaming gods not enough? Do you wish to see me suffer more? Are you not entertained? Spooky stories? Ah, yes, I was going to say some other games I'm anticipating here in 2021. Some of you may or may not know, but Stalker 2 is set to release this year. It's something I'm particularly looking forward to. Chat is always against the VTuber. True, true. Nico, don't feel bad. You can always go back and watch the video later. That's one of the joys of being a YouTuber. Isn't for verses? I'm going to go with fruit and say it's for villains. I don't suppose I'm much of a villain considering I'm only a cultist, but I do have my evil streak sometime. Chalky, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy my terrifying tone. The V. Puns doesn't even start with a V, Bjorn. Vernacular. I suppose it could. There's definitely a vernacular to VTubers. Nita, you are utterly wonderful. You know, you say Junji Ito, but I have to say, I'm already a fan. And have been for quite some time. Junji's ability to weave a story that kind of sticks with you without being, how should I say this? Over the top is just something I truly, truly enjoy. And visual prowess. The way he's able to express the horror through the images without, yet again, being over the top is just. I could read those all day, but here's a question. For those of you that do enjoy Junji Ito, which story is your favorite? I'd have to say that mine is. What is it? I can't remember the name of it. The one with the holes in the mountain. The ending for that sound. Durr, durr, durr. Something I just, wonderful. Being mesmerized by the idea of going into a hole just for you. Isn't it, though? The sheer concept of an inanimate object that you have no idea where it leads to, calling to you so strongly that you feel the urge to enter it just to see where it leads. I feel like I could babble on about that all day. You've never seen a stream with no title, no category. I feel like I might have messed that one up. I was kind of crunched for time. And I've got to be honest, I've never streamed on Twitch before, so sue me. Oh, wait, I'm not an affiliate. They can't. Suck my pseudopods, Twitch. But anyways, let's see. We're an hour and a half in. Let's go ahead and go look at some questions. Let me just refresh this. And I think we should be good to go. We'll just hop over here. Ready, everybody? How's that? Is it back now? So, funny story. When setting up this scene, I forgot to add a microphone source. Look, it's a first stream. Of course there's going to be scuff. And it seems that the chat window is also not working. It's the same issue it was having before, but I know how to fix it now. That working? It seems like it is. Are the messages staying? Yes, they are. Wonderful. All right, back to the questions. I was going to say, yes. What is the best sacrifice I can offer to appease the powers that be? You had to set up a whole stream, a whole scene midstream. That sounds horrible. I'm legitimately terrified by that. Best sacrifices, though. Well, considering that it's the gaming gods, I would say an offering of Divine Doritos and Holy Mountain Dew would be an acceptable offering. Or maybe a vintage Nintendo cartridge. It has to be a particularly rare one, though. Ellie Booster, hello! Welcome to my scuffed first stream. As you can see, I have no background music, and I am having to keep all of the dead air away with just the sound of my terrifying tone. And that's perfectly fine, Corinthian. Twitter isn't for everybody. I find it's a good place to network, get around, meet new people in the VTuber community. I'm not much for social media myself. I tend to have my nose stuck in the Nerdnomicon most of the time. Or in Adobe Premiere and fighting the beast that is that. Twitter truly is a cursed language. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Is keeping the voice up hard for your throat? Well, I'm going to break a bit of VTuber kayfabe and say, no, not really. So, before I move on to the next question, I'm going to tell you a little story. You see, part of the reason I'm a horror VTuber is because I've spent almost a decade in the smaller side of the horror scene, particularly scare acting in haunted houses. First as an actor, then as a prop maker, makeup artist, and then later on as management before I had to eventually quit due to physical issues. Indeed. So, I've got about a decade of voice acting under my belt. Now, I've suffered some injuries that's made it a bit hard to get back in the practice of things. But I've been working at it over these past couple months and have gotten myself back to the point where I feel like I can go about 2 or 3 hours. Not where I used to be, but slowly climbing my way back up the mountain. I'm glad you think it sounds cool. I have to say, it was an interesting experience. The people that I got to meet, the things that I learned, are things that will, I think, stick with me for the rest of my eldritch existence. Not a problem. I love questions. I'm K Fabulous. Ah. See, Bjorn, you can be sweet and not insufferable sometimes. I wouldn't say I'm at the mountaintop just yet. There's still a long way to go. In the grand scheme of things, our small little community on YouTube is, well, just that, small. But I cherish it. Every time one of you comments on a video or interacts with me, it's something that brightens my days in this dark, dank cave. So thank you for that. Moving on to the next question, though. Solaire, favorite horror movie of all time or book? Tell us your favorites. I actually have an entire soundtrack set up. I'm assuming that's Booster? Unfortunately, my stream is so scuffed, I can't get the background music to work. I'll have to figure it out after I stop broadcasting today. Oh, I appreciate your assistance. But anyways, my favorite horror movie of all time. Open some music in YouTube in another tab. I thought about it. I'll probably do it next stream since we're already an hour and 40 minutes in. Akami! Thank you. That means so much. I've been so looking forward to, and frankly, dreading this moment. But now I can officially say that I've joined the ranks of the V streamers. And it's quite the experience. And the restreaming is going well. I love the fact that people can interact across platforms. It's just, It worked. I'm honestly surprised that it worked. But my favorite horror movie. Sorry, I had to scratch my non existent nose for a second. My favorite horror movie of all time, I would have to say, is Friday the 13th, Part 6. And there's a very specific reason for that. You see, most people know Jason Voorhees as the undead juggernaut that can't be put down. But it wasn't until Part 6 that Jason became like that, when he was resurrected by Tommy Jarvis sticking a fence post into his chest and him being revived Frankenstein style by a lightning bolt. At that point, that's when Jason assumed his revenant-like form and became the undead monstrosity that we all know and love. Also, as part of, he mentioned the non-existent nose. That means we can get non-existent sneezes. No, don't you dare summon that person. But as I was saying, another reason that Part 6 is my favorite is because I've gotten to actually work with C.J. Graham. And if you don't know who C.J. Graham is, they play Jason in Friday the 13th, Part 6. And is overall just a wonderful person. So when I watch that movie, it brings back a lot of really good memories. Now, I didn't get to work with them personally. I just made some props for them for a convention appearance. But still, it's something that I hold on to and cherish very much. As for a particular book series, I can't say I have a particularly favorite horror book series. If I had to say I had a favorite horror book, it would be, and I'm bet you this is going to be a shocker. Robert Chambers, The King in Yellow. Not unloading today, huh? The last horror book I read was The Fisherman. I can't say I've read that. Purple and yellow. Eh, seems fitting. Well, if you have read The King in Yellow, then, you kind of know where the inspiration comes from for all of this. It's a horror story that basically reads like a man fishing story. It's very weird, but it's a bit dry. I'm glad you've started. I'm looking forward to future streams. Passion! Thank you. That means a lot. I'm happy that anyone, frankly, shows up and enjoys it. I'm here to entertain and have a good time. And if you have a good time with me, then, well, objective completed. That's the one Lovecraft incorporated into the mythos. Correct! That's the one with Hastur, the King in Yellow. You can go read up on him a bit, and I think a couple more things about myself will become a bit more clear. Moving on to the next question, though. Chrissy writes, will we get to see you doing some of your artwork while you tell us stories? Well, that is a plan for me to do. But the problem is that right now, I only have so many outputs for screen. And I'm using all of them, so I can't rightfully hook up my tablet to do drawing streams without... Excuse me. without upsetting my current setup. I've tried numerous workarounds and it just doesn't seem to want to work. So, when all of this mess with GPUs and CPUs is over, that's probably when I'll start doing drawing streams. Or if I do drawing streams where I work on projects like, I don't know, the Dead by Daylight motion comics, or other horror art, it'll probably be around that time when I can have everything set up and able to run. True Detective mentions stuff from the King in Yellow quite a bit. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Entertaining is an understatement. Just going to note that down. Had you pegged for more of a... I could pronounce that, but I don't want to break my screens, alright? So I'm just going to, yeah, I'll let that one sit. My tongue is tired. Leave me alone. That's what she said. Oh. Ah, there you go. That's about as lewd tube as I get. That's a lie. I can actually get much worse, but I'm not trying to be a lewd tuber. I do enjoy a good dirty joke sometimes, alright? But moving on to the next question. Have you heard of the Magnus Archives? I highly recommend the series. I have not heard of the Magnus Archives. That's new to me. Does anybody in chat know what that is? Do not. This is the eldritch humor I'm here for. I'm here for this energy. All the more reason to love you. That's sweet. Horror podcast just wrapped. I'm sitting here trying to piece together my cosplay, and you're just hilarious. You're a cosplayer, Eclipse. Interesting. You'll have to show me what you're working on. As a prop maker, I always enjoy a good cosplay. Do you know of any good horror podcasts? I mean, more in the sense of like a long-running story rather than a creepypasta readings. I can't say that I do. I'm fairly insular in the horror community. I haven't really reached my tentacles out into the greater yet to see just what's out there. I'm more of a... I just like to sit and watch and read wiki articles and just consume as much knowledge as possible. Moving on to the next question. Gavino! I will ask this again. Do you look like the ink people from Bendy and the Ink Machine if you take off the robe? Nobody gets to see what's under the hood. And I'll let your imagination run wild. I wouldn't want to spoil anything, but that's good horror, isn't it? You don't have to show, you can imply, and let your imagination fill out the rest. Next question. What's one horror trope that scares even you? Or what's the most overused horror trope? Now, that second one, Tobiason asked me that in an interview, and I have to say, I don't feel like there's one that's particularly overused. I just feel like there are some that are used badly. And that can be for more or less anything. But one horror trope that scares even me. I wouldn't say there's one that scares even me, but there's definitely one that I can't stand. I literally cannot watch it. And it's funny because one of my favorite genres of horror is body horror. But anything that has to deal with the injury, more than likely the gross injury of hands, I can't do it. Nope, can't do it. Can't look at it. Nope. Close my eyes and wait for the scene to end. He has cat ears, and I do not have cat ears under the robe. No, see, Goro I can handle. But anything that has to do with the gross injury of hands, can't do it. I see it, and I'm just, nope, I'm done. What was that one movie? It was the one where they're all on the webcam. Was it Unfriended? It was Unfriended. Unfriended, the part where he sticks his hand in the blender. I shut the movie off right then. I never watched it. Fix or prove it, I'm going to start imagining cat ears henceforth. No, no, Nyaball is not a thing. It's not a thing. I agree. Yabe. Eclipse, you're going to cosplay. If you do that, please send me pictures. I would be incredibly honored and love to show it off. You're all cursed, which is fitting. I love all of you for it. Never stop being cursed. Favorite horror game by genre? Shooters, survival, novel, RPG? Well, let me think on that one for a second. Shooters, I have to say that I particularly like Dead Space. But that's also because, like I said before, one of my favorite genres of horror is body horror. And I think the necromorphs are just such interesting creatures. They're so well done. You're playing through Dead Space right now. Indeed, it is very, very well made. That's actually one of the games that I want to play on stream, is go all the way through Dead Space. All of them. But we're going to have to hit Resident Evil 8 first. Survival. Well, this one's probably going to be a bit odd. I suppose most of you are going to expect something like Silent Hill or Resident Evil. But, nope. It's 7 Days to Die. I'm pretty basic like that. And that game has The Forest. You know, it's funny. I haven't actually played The Forest. I'm waiting for the Sons of the Forest to come out before I touch it. How about Resident Evil, specifically number 2, the remastered version? I want to sit down and play the remastered versions of Resident Evil. I haven't played them yet. I played the original ones, but it was eons ago that I was able to survive through those. Subnautica is legitimately terrifying. In fact, deep water and the things that can lurk in it are just. Ugh. I really want to play. That might be a game that I try and play on stream. No, not the Nasophobia. I can handle water. It's just the implications of things that might lurk in the depths and the sheer, just unknown factor of it is something I really, really enjoy. And I do think about because I think about horror a lot. Visual novel. You know, it's funny, I haven't really played a visual novel horror game. Not one that I could think of. Or maybe I have, and I just didn't realize it's a visual novel. So, does anybody have any suggestions for that one? I'd actually like to see what's out there. And finally, for RPG. Huh. I'm not quite sure. I've played a lot of horror games, and the fact is, I usually don't pay attention to the genre. I just play it for the horror. Doki Doki Literature Club is the only one that I'm not streaming Doki Doki Literature Club. When They Cry. Interesting. I've never heard of that. I will definitely have to go look at it. And as for the RPG, it's yet again one I don't really have an answer to because I just haven't really paid attention to the genres of horror games I play. It's just, I see a horror game and I'm like, oh, it's spooky. I love it. I want to play it. Are they? RPG Maker horror games, huh? That might be something I have to look into. We'll go on to this next question. A Yu-Gi-Oh reference? Really? What does the Pot of Greed do? I actually don't remember. I think it lets you draw cards? Or maybe it eats cards. I'm not sure. Did I just activate their trap card? Is this going to get clipped? Is that what that was for? VTuber doesn't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! Ah! I'm a fifth-rate duelist with no deck. Okay, for real though, how about your favorite genre of game? That is an easy question to answer. My favorite genre of games, survival building game. Minecraft, 7 Days to Die, Ark, anything like that where I can both survive, preferably mod it to make it spookier, or, if it's already spooky, even better, and build a base and survive in that world. Anything where I can do something like that is generally my favorite type of game. I love building. I love being endangered by the world around me and having to eke it out while everything wants my head. You don't know 7 Days to Die? Well, 7 Days to Die is essentially it's a survival building game set in a zombie apocalypse, and you are a survivor that has to go around and loot the world around you while surviving zombie hordes that pop up every 7 days on a blood moon. And as the days go longer and the time drags on, the hordes become bigger, the zombies become more dangerous. Now, I enjoy the base game in and of itself, but the modding community behind it Oh, they've made some really, really wonderful mods for it. Everything from making it more fantasy-esque to making the level up system more in depth to just making the game harder, all in all. One of my plans later down the road is to actually revamp my 7 Days to Die series you can watch on my YouTube channel and do it with more of a cinematic approach with multiple people in it. Make the game a bit harder, a bit spookier, add in atmospheric music and great shots shot by a spectator. I think that would make for a very, very interesting series. Locke asks, what's your starter Pokemon? Trico. Look, if you don't like Trico, that's fine, but I enjoy my plant gecko, alright? And anybody who says that it's not a good Pokemon, well, that's your opinion, and this is my stream, and I say it is. Meh. Don't worry, Bjorn, I'm going to refresh it. So, Booster. Booster. Booster asks, do all of your bits and bobs work? Well, I don't have any background music on my stream, so obviously not. Now I'm going to refresh this and answer other questions. God damn it, Bjorn. What's the worst and best pun that appeared during your debut so far? You know, I'm glad there's no background music because I just want to sit here and stare at you angrily. The best pun so far. What was. I have to think about this. There were a lot of good ones, but there were a lot of groaners mixed in. The worst and best pun. What was the one? That's it. That's the one. The gaming gods playing Pandemic. It's close enough, I'd say. That's definitely the one that got me the best. As for the worst, well, I'll have to go back over Bjorn's chat history. That's pretty much it. Hold on. I'm glad you take that as flattery because it wasn't meant as it. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I enjoy the puns quite a lot. It's right up my dark alley of humor. Let's see, do we have any other ones that I missed? No, that seems to be it. Ah. Well, we've been going for about 2 hours. If you have any questions, ask them now. Refresh one more. What did you write? What did you write? I have to make sure that I'm not being trolled. Wrong button. It's not a stream unless there's scuff. If you could make one thing, person, place of horror a reality, who, what would it be? Oh, that. If I could or if I had to, because if I could, I wouldn't. This debut is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. No, it's not, and it never will be. Do I plan to play any co-op games with viewers? Yes, I actually plan to have a community night at least once a month. In fact, that's something that I'm really looking forward to because I love interacting with the community. That's really my whole goal, is to build a tight-knit community where we can all have fun. And if I make some side money off of it through YouTube ads, well, that's not bad at all. If I could, I wouldn't make any of it real because think about it. Most of the things we see in horror in this world, they'd be world-ending events. Would not be able to game with you. I wouldn't do anything but laugh. Well, I hope you'd be laughing with me and not at me, because you'd probably be laughing at me considering my general skill level. But if I had to make one horror thing, person, or place real, I would say, let me think. I know. If we're going to go, let's go big. No, not Wishmaster. I would make the Labyrinth Hellraiser real, because with the Labyrinth comes Leviathan, and with Leviathan comes the Cenobites, and who knows? You like that? Angels to some, demons to some, devils to others. Explorers in the far reaches of experience. The Hellraiser comics were extremely good. I liked how much they expanded upon the lore of the Cenobites and introduced the different gashes. In fact, if any of you don't know, there's whole different groups of Cenobites besides the one that's run by Pinhead. I definitely suggest going and giving those a look. Well, we've been at it for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. He is sort of a good guy. I think this is a point where I feel like it's good to stop. I'm starting to get a little bit tired because I honestly was up far too late trying to get this ready. Give me 1 second. Oop. Wrong button. But thank you. Thank all of you for coming out today. I very much appreciate it. You have made this an unforgettable experience. I never expected the debut to be big. In fact, I kind of didn't want it to. I wanted those of the community of both the channel and VTuberdom that I'd already established connections with to just show up and us to be able to have fun. I believe as the community grows, let me rephrase that. I believe as I continue to put out content, continue to explore the depths of horror as a VTuber, that the community will grow and the stream will grow with it. And with that, I'll be able to do more and better things for all of you to indulge in and spend the late nights watching. Amino! Unfortunately, I'm wrapping up for the day. I have some cult duties that I have to attend to. Orlo. That is something that means quite a lot. I'm glad that I can inspire others to go out and try for themselves to find their place in the VTuber community. There really is a place for anyone of any aesthetic. But with that being said, I think I'm going to try, keyword try, to go and raid somebody because I've never done this before. And it's probably going to wind up being extremely scuffed. So, if you want to help me with that, make sure to stick around. Let's see, who do we have going right now? I think, is Konzetsu streaming? If I could rain Bone Daddy, that would be really something. In fact, if anybody who's on YouTube wants to hop over to Twitch and join in the raid, here's the link for Twitch. I'll give it a little bit, and I'll read off some chat while anybody who wants to hops over. And I accidentally closed that when I didn't mean to. I need to be able to see things. Bone who? You don't know Konzetsu, the Bone Daddy? The Demon Lord himself. Ah, it seems that he is streaming. All right, let's see if I can do this, chat. It's perfectly fine if you can't join in the raid. I don't expect people to jump platform to platform. I just ask that you do. Let me go ahead and see if I can do this right. Hopefully I did this right. Nope, doesn't look like I did. I don't know how to raid. I'm so bad at what I do. Ah, that's what it is. All right, everybody, are we ready to go in? So if you want a chat message, it's going to be, have you seen the violet sign? Gosh dang YouTube streamers. Look, we'll talk about it later, Cam. All right? All right, everybody, pile on, and I hope you have a delightfully dreadful evening.